I'm Buck Brannaman from Sheridan, Wyoming. I'm a horseman and I've taught horsemanship all over the world for the last 38 years. And of course, most of them are in the United States here, but I do them all over Europe and Australia, New Zealand. I always felt like there ought to be a way to work with horses to where if they got to make up the rules, how you'd get them to understand. That'd be how I'd approach it, and that's really how my mentors approach this style of horsemanship, which is, relatively new, I would say in the last 75 years anyway. And it's very much like Horse Whisperer. Well, what the character of Redford did in there, well, that part was real, in that he was a revolutionary horseman and was doing things different than what was considered the conventional wisdom. My goal is, as far as the clinics and the horses, I love the horses and I want things to be better for the horse. Yet the horse can still do his job and work for you, but he ought to be able to enjoy what he does. And at the same rate, the clinics also, through working with people and their horses, it has a different effect than just getting your horse to where he behaves better. The horse can help to change your life in a positive way too. In my clinics, there are different classes that I do. Some of the most popular ones are the colt starting clinics, where we take horses that have never been worked with, never been saddled, and over the course of 4 days we get them where you can saddle them and ride them, and then they're sort of on their way in their education. And no different than the stages you might go through in school. Yet at the same rate, it's not just a physical thing you do with horses. There has to be a mental connection as well. My foster dad was the first man that I ever thought I wanted to be like. So he inspired me to want to be a cowboy, and then the more and more I got into it, I had a passion for the horses, and frankly, the horses were my refuge. For quite a few years as a young man, I don't know how much good I did the horses, but I know they did me a lot of good. So now, I guess I spend the rest of my life trying to pay them back. A lot of times horses will end up in my clinics because my clinic may be the last stop. And if it doesn't work out for the horse there, then he's probably going to go to the sale ring, and you know what happens from there. And yet, when I'm helping people to get abused horses to where they can trust them and turn them into functional, good horses, you have to understand it's not so different from dealing with a kid who is coming from a really tough background. I tell people, whether it's the horse or the kid, you can be so overcome with empathy and sadness for them that you're as bad for them as where they were, because you don't set any parameters, you don't teach them and guide them, you allow them to do things that you know isn't right because you're so overcome with empathy and sympathy. And then sometimes the person that's responsible for that abused horse or kid, they do a poor job because they don't teach them how to function. Even if you come from a tough background, the world isn't going to feel sorry for you. You have to figure out how to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make it happen. And it's no different when working with a young horse that's maybe been really troubled by somebody. Sure, you feel bad for what already happened, but you can't live in the past. You have to live in the moment. And there's a point where you just move on, get to work. It might upset you, it might bother you, you might feel like it made you uncomfortable the way they were doing it, but I really think most people are doing the best they can with what they know. I have to always be careful that when people come to my clinics, that no matter where they're coming in ability-wise, that they are trying or they wouldn't even be there. And yet sometimes the way the horse and the human are getting along, it makes me sad for the horse. And that's my job to change it. And it doesn't make me right and everybody else wrong. I have been around a long time, so it looks like whatever I'm doing is going to probably work out for me and everybody else too if they would give it a try. And long story short, I'm not afraid to look in the mirror.